If you want to know how to make easy homemade biscuits using pantry ingredients, we'll show you how. What is your favorite food in the whole wide world? I always tell people in the videos, Tim's love language is?
Biscuits.
So what are we making today?
Bologna.
Biscuits. We hadn't made biscuits together, maybe ever, and we hadn't made biscuits in a long time. And my thing went out. Isn't that something?
This is just not your day.
This is not my day.
Nothing's going according to plan.
I don't have self-rising flour, but that's easily fixed because you can use all-purpose flour with baking powder and salt. So I picked a recipe that had those ingredients and did not have buttermilk because we do not have buttermilk in the house. So this is one from Paula Deen that uses flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, cube butter, and milk. And then we're going to mix these up and cook them in a good old cast iron skillet and see how Miss Paula makes biscuits. And who's doing the cooking today?
This is not Mama's biscuits. This is Paula's biscuits.
Well, your mama makes good biscuits, but she makes drop it. Well, these are gonna.
These are gonna be rolled out.
No,
so
I
this
don't.
gonna be different.
Well, we might roll them out. Rolling to me is a lot more trouble, and it makes them tougher. But we'll see. We're gonna work with it. So who's doing the cooking today?
I'm going to do
Ooh, doggy! I'm excited.
Is it cooking or baking?
This is baking, and it's very exact. You're right. So what's for dinner today is homemade biscuits. Deviating from the recipe already. Hers is grease the can. Hers says grease the pan with butter, and we're greasing with Crisco because that's what Tim's mama and grandmama always did. I don't think my mama made biscuits. If she did, I don't remember it. I only remember a can. So you come from a long line of great biscuit
canned
makers.
biscuits here.
I know you don't. I would buy canned all day long, but you don't like them. All right, we're going to measure out 2 cups of flour. We'll scoop with a spoon and then level it out. If we were being really technical, we would get my scale out and weigh it in grams, but we're not. We're just not going to take the measuring gun. You were going to take the measuring cup and just dip it in there, which that works too, but that's a little more accurate from what I've been told.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. So 2 cups of
I'm
flour.
going to Stacy's School of Biscuits, so I need to know how to do this.
Stacy doesn't make biscuits. Stacy probably made you homemade biscuits other than using Bisquick in 20 years.
I thought you said that was my love language.
It is. 2
I'm
cups.
not getting a lot of love.
That was only 1 cup, sweetheart. 2 cups.
I was cutting back.
They're not going to be very good biscuits. All right. 1 teaspoon of sugar. 1 teaspoon of salt. And then for the leavening, it needs baking powder, and that will be a tablespoon. So 3 times as much. And then we're going to mix the dry ingredients together. 1 tablespoon, and that little flat part is to help you level it off. There you go.
Stacy, you asked me if I messed it up already.
Well, I thought you put in 2 tablespoons. I thought you put in 2 teaspoons of. Anyway, I was fiddling with the camera. Now we're gonna mix the dry ingredients. And then the fun part. I've got the butter in the freezer. It just needs to be cold, but when I make scones, like our blueberry scones, I always put it in the freezer. I think it does a little better. And then we're gonna use this. Do you know what this is?
It's like the Wolverine's claw.
Wolverine's claw. We're gonna use the Wolverine pastry cutter claw. Let me get the butter out of the freezer. Now we're gonna cut in 8 tablespoons or a whole stick of butter. I had it in the freezer for a minute to get it a little firmer. And I told Tim the way I do it is cut it in half and then start cutting, you know, little slivers. It makes less work of using the pastry cutter in the bowl to get to basically pea size. Her recipe says to get it where it looks like cornmeal, but I've always heard it should look like wet sand or like little pea-sized.
We want less work.
So you're warming up the butter every time you touch it.
Is that bad?
That's why I had you do it on the paper so you could just dump it.
Alright, don't want to warm up the butter. Butter warm up's bad.
Well, it melts it. Your body heat melts it. That's why I had you cut it on the paper so you could just dump it.
But I had to separate it.
Well, that's what the pastry cutter's for. That way you're not using your warm hands.
Didn't know that. Wolverine.
This is one reason I don't make biscuits all that often.
Wow.
Because it's hard on my hands.
Holding the camera?
Doing what you're doing,
my.
which is cutting the butter in with the pastry cutting.
I was kidding.
I know. Small pea-sized. And then we're going to add the milk or the buttermilk. We just don't have buttermilk, which is why I picked this one. And then we're going to get it out on a floured board and get them shaped. She calls for rolling them. I don't like to roll biscuits. I think it makes them tougher. And that's why when I have made you biscuits, I normally make drop biscuits, whereas I just scoop the dough out with a spoon and drop it. So I've always heard and seen on cooking things that the more you work a biscuit or a scone dough, the tougher it gets. So
I'm not working it yet, right?
Well, you are working it. You're adding the butter. No, you need to scrape it. Yeah, scrape it off. You don't want to cut your finger on your Wolverine claw. You can just do it like that. There you go. No, you don't want to overwork it. But that's about right. Pea size or a little less. And then let me get the milk out.
Okay.
Now we're going to make a well in the center, pull as much of the dry ingredients away as we can, and then we're not going to add all the milk. She said, start slow. Humidity and different things. I'd put about 1/2 to 3/4 of it. That's 3/4. Okay, we'll stop. We're going to start pulling it in. There you go. You want to use your hands or you want to use the spoon? Spoon it is.
You just want to get my hands started.
I do. Nothing sexier than a guy in the kitchen cooking. Well, except a guy washing dishes.
Or a guy eating biscuits.
No, that's not sexy. That's my life.
Oh, okay.
Tim loves a biscuit. Yeah, it's definitely going to need more to pull it together. We'll probably end up using the entire 3/4. There you go. I'm going to go roll out the pastry mat and get you a little flour on it.
All right.
Just try to get it in like, excuse me. Let's try to get it in like a big ball, just combined all together. And then we're going to put the ball on the work surface. And I think I already said this, we're going to deviate from her recipe. We're not going to take a rolling thin and roll them very thin. Her recipe got 3 dozen little tiny, like party-sized biscuits. Tim, you like big biscuits, don't you? Man-sized.
Yeah, real
He likes
biscuits.
a big, so we probably won't give it maybe 6 or 8 out of this.
Do we need more liquid?
I'll get you a little more, hold on. Now let's pat it out in a round rather than rolling. This is kind of how I do scones. I just shape them with my hand around the edges. Take your, I'm going to put the, there you go. I just take my hands and come around. There you go. Now they're going to rise with the tablespoon of baking powder. Do you want them thinner than that, or are you okay with maybe rising by a half or a whole that thickness? You want them thinner?
Oh yeah, this will be fine.
Okay, then we're going to take the biscuit cutter. You want the fluted or the straight side? It has both.
I'm not particular about my flutes or my.
Okay, that's not it. With that size biscuit cutter, with that size round, you're only gonna get like 3. So I'm gonna put the camera down and
Give me another one. Give me another biscuit cutter.
okay. Twist. And it should pull out. There you go. So you're using the flat side. Oh, you need a little more flour on it, maybe. Let me get you some more flour. Twist and shout. Look at that one came right out. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, baby. Oh, look at you go. You're a biscuit making machine.
I can make a biscuit now, at least.
We have a friend at church whose name is Biscuit. I bet he likes biscuits.
I think he's allergic to them.
Is he? He thinks it's fun. All right, we're gonna put the dough together. We'll probably get 1 or 2 more. So 4, yeah, 5 or 6 biscuits. She got 30. They must have been quarter or nickel size. And we're gonna put these in the greased cast iron skillet, 425. Her recipe says 12. Tim's mom and grandmom always baked biscuits probably for closer to 20 minutes. So I don't think her 12's gonna work. We'll probably go 18 to 20. We will let you know. So we got 6 good sized biscuits. And
That's your biscuit.
A little nubber. I don't eat biscuits. These are all yours, sweetheart. So you got a little nubber that's probably gonna be overcooked. We may have to take out urban. Well, I always call what's left little nubbers. You're gonna have 2, 4, 6 good sized biscuits after we bake them.
Are these top shelf biscuits?
We're gonna find out. We'll check them in about 18 or 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let's see what they look like.
Ooh,
Bumpy. Bumpy biscuits. You think they need another minute or 2 to brown?
Do we need to baste a little butter on them?
We can. We did 18 instead of 20.
Put a little butter on them.
I'll brush a little melted butter on top. I wouldn't overdo it. Just a little. Otherwise you'll make them like greasy. You like greasy biscuits though, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You like greasy biscuits?
Little nubber down there that you said.
That one may need to come out. Are you gonna put them back for a minute or 2?
Yeah.
All right, so probably 20. 20 at 425. Tim's biscuits turned out fantastic. You can always make homemade biscuits using something like Biscuit, but if you've got pantry staples, flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, some cold butter, and milk, you can make easy homemade biscuits. Thanks so much for stopping by. Take care, have a wonderful and truly blessed day.